Before she became the face of cosmic heroism as Captain Marvel, Carol Danvers adopted several aliases throughout her decades-long Marvel journey, one of the most significant being Warbird. This identity represented a critical and emotionally complex era for the character, marking her fall from grace and her eventual resurgence as a hero, defined not by power alone, but by resilience, redemption, and self-worth. Carol Danvers' superhero origin began in Marvel Superheroes number 13, 1968, where she debuted as a U.S. Air Force officer, working alongside the Kree warrior Mar-Vell. After being caught in an explosion of a Kree device, her DNA was fused with Mar-Vell's, granting her superhuman strength, flight, and energy projection powers. She eventually became Ms. Marvel, a fierce feminist icon of the 1970s with her own solo series. However, her story took a tragic turn in the 1981 graphic novel Avengers Annual Number 10, when she was manipulated, kidnapped, and impregnated by Marcus Immortus, a disturbing storyline that led to her temporary removal from the Avengers. She lost her powers and memories and was taken in by the X-Men, where Rogue, still a villain at the time, permanently absorbed her powers and psyche. This devastating loss left Carol powerless and disoriented, but not defeated. Carol's next reinvention came after a journey into space with the X-Men, during which she was transformed by alien experimentation into Binary, a being of near-limitless energy who could manipulate stellar forces. Though immensely powerful, Binary was more of a cosmic force than a grounded hero, and Carol eventually returned to Earth, struggling with her place in the world and her lost identity. It was in Avengers Vol. 3, Number 4, 1998, written by Kurt Busiek and drawn by George Perez, that Carol Danvers adopted the Warbird moniker. At this point, she had lost her binarily level powers but retained her Ms. Marvel abilities. Warbird was strong, bold, and proud, but behind the confident exterior was a woman battling alcoholism, PTSD, and deep-seated feelings of inadequacy. Her time as Warbird was defined by tension. She rejoined the Avengers, but her increasing alcohol dependence began affecting her judgment. Her behavior became erratic, leading to confrontations with teammates, and eventually her expulsion from the team after refusing to acknowledge her problem. This storyline was groundbreaking. It addressed addiction and mental health in a way few superhero comics had dared to at the time. Carol's fall was painful, but it set the stage for one of the most powerful redemption arcs in Marvel history. After seeking help and embracing recovery, Carol began rebuilding her life. Her tenure as Warbird became a bridge between her past as Miss Marvel and her future as Captain Marvel. It represented a woman reclaiming control, not only of her powers, but of her identity and legacy. She remained active with the Avengers and S.H.I.E.L.D., proving time and again that heroism isn't about perfection, but persistence. Eventually, Carol resumed the Ms. Marvel name and starred in a long-running solo series written by Brian Reed that re-established her as a key player in Marvel's superhero world. In 2012, she fully embraced the title Captain Marvel, a name that once belonged to Mar-Vell, but had always symbolized the cosmic legacy Carol was destined to inherit. Today, Carol Danvers is a cornerstone of the Marvel Universe, featured prominently in major crossover events, animated series, and the Marvel Cinematic Universe, portrayed by Brie Larson. Yet, her time as Warbird remains one of the most emotionally rich periods of her character history. It was a phase that showed fans Carol's strength wasn't in her powers, but in her humanity. Warbird was the identity Carol wore when she was bruised but unbroken, still fighting, still standing, still a hero.